So I'll see if we have confirmed audio is working. Hopefully the picture is going okay, but given last week when I filled in and there was no video. So we won't have that. I started a couple minutes early. Bonjour to you, Paul. Hello, Fred, Victoria, Jennifer, Ruth, Artsy Traveler, Chris Miller, Hack Creek Dog Training. Hello, I hope all is well in Utah. Susan Yu, Thunderball, welcome. Bonnie and Matt. Let's see, Tina Murray. Hope all is well in Maryland, I think. Tina is Maryland, maybe. Sonali, hello. Mike G. Let's see. Brittany. Veg Deb 1, hello. Sandra, I think I missed saying hello to. So we're starting a little bit early. We got another minute before we're sort of scheduled to start at the top of the hour here. But I'm going to just really quick explain. So Jeff's on retreat, and Jeff was going to have Jude Starr, friend of the show, a faculty member at the club, and a guest host. But it has been some Jude had guest hosted, and we didn't realize that we don't have everything up to date for him to guest host. So I'm filling in for Jude. And then really quick as a pre-roll at the top here, Monday Night Sits for the last 13 or 14 years now, virtual now since the pandemic, cecmeditate.com. That's cecmeditate.com. Monday nights, I think it's at 7:30 Eastern. Jude is your guest host tomorrow. And I will post a link later, but I just, since we're filling in, I'm filling in for Jude. I want to make sure that Jude gets a little bit of a bump here from the Do Nothing Project, at least. So Jude is your guest tomorrow night, and there's 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Hello to Sarah. Welcome, Jill. Hello, Gabrielle. And Colette. Janet as well. Where's welcome. Hello to Zach. Virtual Debs, hello again. I think I've got, maybe I didn't say hi to Mike G and Bonnie, and chat usually is flying by super, super fast. If you're just tuning in, I am your guest host for the evening, and I have video this week. Ta-da! We try to elevate a little at a time here at the Do Nothing Project. And today, now, video. Last week, my iPad was not set up correctly. Johnny, welcome. Johnny is staying up super late. Johnny, I think, is in Norway. But our Scandinavian friend stays up late to tune in. Hello, Mao, Ali, Valentina, Christiana, and Robert, hello. All right, so I am, everything is fine. Jeff is on, Jeff mentioned about 3 weeks ago. Oh, Lynn, hello. Lynn is tuning in from the future. So I think that would be Monday. I can't think of when that would be now. I think it's about 18 hours difference from where I live. So headline is, Jeff is okay. This is his first retreat he's been on that he hasn't been leading or involved in putting on, that he can be a regular practicing yogi on the retreat. And that's this weekend. I am getting back from a camping trip. And so I didn't know that I'd be able to really be here, but I am here filling in for Jude. Again, Jude Starr. I don't have Jude's YouTube channel link with me, but I do have, I will share a link for Jude tomorrow, Monday night. He is your host for the Monday night CEC. And for those that don't know, I've been guiding probably now for 9 months. I've been guiding a Wednesday sit and that's at 8:15 Eastern, 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central, and 5:15 Pacific. So, so just to mention that at the top, and I'll have links for all of that stuff because that's what I like to do. Yes, Saban, it's me again. I'm back, but this time with video. Hello to Mitch. Let's see. Anyone else? Cheryl, hello. All right. So, welcome to the Do Nothing Project. I am not Jeff. As I mentioned, Jeff's okay. Everything's good. Jeff is on retreat. He'll be back sometime this week. We expect Jeff to be the host for next week on the 14th. If this is the first or second time, or you haven't been here in a while, we always like to remind you to keep your expectations very, very, very low. There's not much happening on the Do Nothing Project. I will guide a 25-minute practice that will have a small amount of structure, a small amount of technique, and then we'll cap that off with a friendliness practice. And the friendliness practice really is a way for us to stoke a bit of warmth into our practice, and that's part of why we finish at the end. That's also something you'll notice is the capping technique for CEC if you sit with the Consciousness Explorers Club. So yeah, and I have a prop. So I spent a lot of time with cameras when I was younger, and we have a theme, and my theme for tonight is Aperture. So we're going to have a small amount of guidance in our sit for a 25-minute sit, but just starting out with a really narrow, small aperture. And for those that don't know, the aperture is what you change on your lens to actually let in more and more light. And we've been out in the wilderness, and it's been really interesting to just sit and realize how much of an aperture you are to the world around you. And if you can allow yourself to kind of click into increasingly more open stances, it's a really amazing thing. And so that's one of the things for practice. And there's not a lot you need to do. It's just kind of being aware and open to that. So we'll usually offer a practice where you could work with a home base, or it's something that we would consider to be more of an open awareness practice. That's what the actual do nothing technique that Shinzen offers is about, is this idea of just being, there's really just two instructions. And it's really that notion of being very, very minimal. So if a actual physical camera is helpful for you in that notion of thinking about changing that aperture, we'll start small, and then we'll kind of open more and more as we go. So that's our plan. And then, okay, so we're getting some pixelation, but the sound is still good. Okay. All right. Well, last week we had no picture. This week we've got pixelated picture and wonky video. So, it's like I'm underwater. Well, that's interesting. Yes, we can start at F22. Thank you for that, Ruth. Let's see. I don't know if I can. I should probably not do this, but let's see if we can. All right, I have changed it so that we are actually at F22. So, all right. I have a bell. I apparently have an underwater persona, and I have 25 minutes on the clock. And then at the end, if you have reports or questions or comments or whatever, you can share those in chat. So, all right. And I will invite the bell to start. All right, so If I didn't have a theme already, Bonnie, I would use Under the Sea, but a great high school dance theme as always. So really just beginning the process of arriving here in our posture. And so you could be walking or standing or lying down. It's totally valid postures. I'll focus on the seated posture. So either seated in a chair or on a cushion. And really what we're looking for is a posture that helps us to be both relaxed and aware. So we're looking to be upright without being too uptight. And then after you may find, and this is just an aside here, you may find that as you sit in the posture, you feel like you're almost sort of leaning forward, trying to get to the sort of next moment and the next moment. And so if you feel that, just sort of seeing if you can relax back. And now that we've got a bit of a posture that supports us established, just checking into what is already here. Every sit is different because our starting state, what we bring to that sit, is different. So we're not shooing anything away or chasing any emotions off. We're just acknowledging, oh, there's a bit of eagerness here. And there's a sense of tiredness. Maybe I feel worn out at the end of the day, or feel a bit sluggish as I'm starting my day out. So just being aware of that. And then finally, a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo that we're going for. Breathing in slow through the nose allows you to breathe low into the belly. And then as you turn and begin to exhale, just seeing if you can extend the exhale. If we can make the exhale longer than the inhale, that is a physiological cue that shifts the body into a more rest and relaxation state. And so I'm going to offer some guidance, like I mentioned, small amount of guidance, or intention. The intention here is to offer a small amount of guidance. But I want to mark where we're at right now as a place to come back to. So we're just sitting and knowing that we're sitting. Just enough awareness to know that we're sitting. So you can always come back to this. If the guidance isn't really sitting with you, or landing with you, I should say, or you've gotten more and more frustrated, just coming back to this real light awareness that you're sitting and that you know that you're sitting. And so as suggested, we're going to start out at what is probably the smallest aperture on a camera that you have, which is f/22. And just seeing if you can sort of focus your attention out of that small opening. Now you might say you can, facing out and direct that small aperture. You may immediately visualize that as sort of facing out of the front of the body. Imagination is always encouraged here. So if you want to think of that aperture as sort of pointing up and facing out that way, it's totally fine. Or if you want to sort of feel like your small opening is pointing in 360 degrees, totally fine. And so what passes through that small opening? Well, it's probably going to be sounds from my environment. Computer fans, ticking clocks, the sound of my voice. If your eyes are open, maybe you've got underwater video coming through. Some amount of body sensations. Or we could say it's either mental image, sounds, mental talk, physical sensations, and emotional body sensations. If you wanted to group it like that. So just widening one more click to f/16. Just seeing if you can let more of that experience in. And then one more click to f/11. And really just being aware of all of experience that's coming through that small opening. So f/11 is twice as big as f/22 where we started. And we don't have to do anything with that experience as it passes through us. We don't have to note it. We don't have to name it. We don't have to label it. Sort of relaxing back and trusting that we will be aware of it. And minds will get distracted, pulled away. And we bring it back, knowing it'll be pulled away, and bringing it back. And if you notice frustration in being pulled away, just see if you can bring a little more care to how you bring your attention back, bring your focus back. And just seeing if we can widen a little bit more. We'll move from F11 to F8. You may find that as I'm kind of moving you through that progress of more openness, that at some point you may find like an opening where you just blow right past. And if that happens, that is, if you feel resourced and that happens, then totally go with that. If you feel a little overwhelmed by that, you can come back to a home base. Move one more click, slightly more open. So F5.6. And again, the attention is going to be drawn away, and that's all right. We'll just bring it back. Really just leaning on this idea of focusing out into all that experience can really be part of. And in doing that, we get pulled away. Again, no big deal. Still frustrated, but no big deal. Come back. And then shifting just a little more open to F4. And then our last shift, our last opening, moving to F2.8. And always that reminder, if you drawn away by the guidance, you can always come back to that feeling, a waypoint that we offer at the beginning of just sitting and knowing that you're sitting. Sort of just enough attention to be aware of the body. And then with the time we have left, we'll shift into loving kindness or friendliness practice. And here I'll offer a gratitude practice. This is just beginning with the fact that you can take pictures with your phone and you don't need to know any of the terminology that I was using to talk about how wide open a camera is. So that all the people involved with that, people that make the devices, the software, the lenses, just so that you can pull your phone out and take a picture. If you want to visualize a series of people's faces, it's totally fine. Or if you just want to offer a thank you or a dat doing to all the people that made photography easy and ubiquitous. And then it doesn't always work, but everyone that is involved with connecting us over continents and oceans so that we can do a live stream. From the people that laid the cable, copper wire, telephone switches, people that install and maintain software on servers, and all the folks at YouTube. Thank you. And I just drove back from a trip thinking about all the people that were involved in helping us get back to Tucson. The surveyors, people that drive the road graders, Forest Service, planners, people that hang and maintain the signs, gas station attendants, the people that drive tanker trucks to make sure that far-flung gas stations have gas. Thank you. You can even sort of thank all the people that approved the interstate plan, or whoever has helped ensure that your town, municipality, jurisdiction, country has passable roads. Thank you. And if you've spent time driving on gravel dirt roads, then you appreciate a smooth, paved road. Thank you to everyone who made that possible. Humans didn't know that as a skill to begin with, trial and error. Thank you. And then lastly, just a big thank you to Milin, Lily, Jeff, Aaron, Tasha, Jude, all the folks who've been part of Do Nothing Project. And our sit, ring the bell. Okay, so camera's working better now. It's kind of ironic that the video isn't working super great for that. Yes, Mitch, that doing. I've got some links. So as I mentioned, I'm leading a sit regularly on Wednesdays now. The times are there. You can find the channel there. And then just because I briefly knew that I was going to be doing this, thank you, Brooke. Say something quick here about Brooke. That's the live stream for that on Wednesday. And then I posted it once before. I think freedom is the theme for the CEC this month, and freedom from the known is what Jude will be guiding as your guide Monday night, 7:30 Eastern, cecmeditate.com. And then I will switch over here to reading stuff. The MindBod Adventure Pod continues. Patrick Toma is the guest this week. Interesting topic around the story Unbound. And then Home Base is there. And then I usually have a link that says if you want to reach out, you can reach out on Instagram, lenards.coaching. So on IG, I'm just going to type this really quick because I don't know where I put that. And then thank you for everybody for the fact that you stuck with me for 2 weeks, and everybody that stuck with last week when we had nothing going for video. Today we've got some shaky video on that. So to Mitch, so the camera that I was using doesn't have, I don't know if you can see it, doesn't have 1.4. It's not, it's a macro lens. But yeah, so we could have gone all the way to 1.4. Some people maybe went all the way to 1.4. 1.4 being the wide open on that. So Valentina, you're super welcome. Thank you for that. I'm glad to get a chance to substitute. It's always nice. Some mentions for Datoing. Yes, loving kindness to Henry Rollins, as always. So we'll see. My Pettibone poster procured by my friend Danny for me, and it was sitting underwater. Thank you, Fred. Thank you for all of the welcomes that everybody did while we were getting ready there. So when we're starting out, I see chat just before I go live, and so I always appreciate that. And so Brooke Thomas is in a teacher training program, and big mention for Brooke, or promo for Brooke. Brooke filled in for me on my channel while I was away for the 4th of July. So if you want to get a chance to check out Brooke, you can find Brooke's guidance here. And so that's the same link. It'll be up on the channel, and it would be from July 4th. Actually, it was not the 4th. It's the 3rd. So Jeff will be back next week. If you haven't already, the home base with Jeff is where most of the activity now for Jeff is at. You can find the next retreats are going to be at jeffwarren.org, I think, still, but they may also be linked. I think they're getting moved over to the Home Base with Jeff as things progress. So Home Base with Jeff is kind of the new locale for that. So okay, so I'm super clear right now. That's good, Brooke. At least there's a moment there. So yeah, I'm not as big a camera nerd as I was when I was younger, but I'm thinking a lot about that openness to experience. So hopefully that landed for some folks. And I did for folks that tuned in late. There's Dave Letterman apparently used to the television executives would always say to Dave Letterman when they were doing skits, like, what about the person who just tuned in? And now I can think about that as, what about the person who just signed on to the live stream? So yeah, super thankful for that. I think that's all the plugs. I don't think there's any more Omega in person, but Jeff has a retreat coming up. You're super welcome. Jeff, I think I would have to go look, but I think Omega has a digital offering, and so that should still be possible to get in for that. And then I think the next retreat is sometime in October. But jeffwarren.org for you on that. Yeah, and thank you for all of the call outs. Yes, that's right. The latest, thank you, Mitch. I did not weave in the latest home base. But again, Jeff's on retreat. You want to find that out, go to Home Base with Jeff. And yeah, thanks everybody. Have a fantastic week. And Lynn Carpenter, I hope you have a fantastic Monday. And we'll see you same time. And it'll be Jeff, not me. Bye now.